What would you say is that possible size of water hyacinth as a resource material?
Oh, wow. To be very honest, I couldn't even begin to estimate the potential size, because one thing is that it spreads.
Okay.
So the size today will not necessarily be the size tomorrow. So once the seeds are in the water, the seeds are viable for 30 years. And as a result of, the tide, people actually ignorantly thinking it's an ornamental plant and introducing it to other bodies causes the spread of this weed. It's a huge opportunity in terms of looking at how we can take this menace and transform it into an economic advantage.
I think, again, in times of crisis, as a company, and especially us as an impact-focused company, the first thing you think about is how can we contribute? So we thought of it as we are an impact investor in off-grid energy in Nigeria. Okay, so how can we help in the space that we are in? And so that's how we came up with the idea of, okay, look, all of these centers that are going up, these emergency health facilities, all of them need power, right?
Yeah.
Now, some of them, if someone puts up a huge tent, okay, it's hard to you can't put solar power panels on a tent. In some cases, it doesn't fit. But in most cases, solar can actually be a huge help to make the center operational very quickly. And again, so that the people in the center can worry about healing people and getting people better and addressing the illnesses rather than worrying about diesel supply.
Solar leverages mobile technology to deliver tokenized digital 24/7 electricity. We call it energy decentralization and democratization of energy at about 10 cents, that is Nigerian 36 naira per kilowatt hour, to eligible users. Of course, this is backed by our fintech blockchain technology platform. So One Watt Solar is that solar fintech startup that enable peer-to-peer trading. That is solar blocks owner. You are an electricity user, then you connect to One Watt Solar blockchain platform. That is electricity provider in a digital asset model.
I've been very big on sustainable agriculture for a while, and then I heard of hydroponics and vertical farming, two systems, and I did a bit of research, and it just seemed like the perfect merger, to be able to use the benefits of those two systems, to achieve food security and combat all the problems we have. So I decided to pursue a master's in it and do my research in it, and find out how we can make it more efficient, because I'm from Nigeria. And so I'm not about to spend my time doing something that's only applicable in one part of the world. So that was my big question. How can we do this more efficiently?
Spunvertek is a renewable energy technology developer that designs and manufactures affordable made-in-Nigeria IoT-enabled solar water pump inverter for irrigation farming systems. The Spunvertek solar water pump inverter powers all types of conventional water pumps directly from solar panels without the need for battery storage. Our innovative product ensures that farmers in off-grid areas with no access to electricity can power large-capacity water pumps used in irrigation farming at an affordable cost. Spunvertek has a unique team of electronic circuit designers and microprocessor programmers that ensures that durability and standard is met. Being a homegrown technology company gives us an edge over foreign competitors based on our understanding of the needs of the local farmers in Nigeria. Inverter also powers any type of submersible water pumps used in community borehole projects in off-grid areas of Nigeria. We offer real-time and cloud-based remote monitoring and control for automated smart irrigation farming approach for large-scale farms via our robust IoT-embedded solar water pumping system, which ensures progressive crop yield and good land nutrition. In Nigeria, thousands of children and infants in rural areas die annually as a result of waterborne diseases due to non-access to portable and clean water supply. This high rate of death is as a result of lack of electricity supply for water supply and the expensive nature of procuring regular solar water pumps. Spunvertek innovative technology has simplified off-grid solar water pumping system by way of integration of existing conventional water pumps to our solar water pump inverter, which makes the procurement and installation of solar water pumping system readily affordable. Thinking of solar water pumping for irrigation? Think Spunvertek.
What would you say is that possible size of water icing as a resource material?
Oh, wow. To be very honest, I couldn't even begin to estimate the potential size, because one thing is that it spreads.
Okay.
So the size today will not necessarily be the size tomorrow. So once the seeds are in the water, the seeds are viable for 30 years. And as a result of, the tide, people actually ignorantly thinking it's an ornamental plant and introducing it to other bodies causes the spread of this weed. It's a huge opportunity in terms of looking at how we can take this menace and transform it into an economic advantage.
So OneWorld Solar leverages mobile technology to deliver tokenized digital to
Spunvertek is a renewable energy technology developer that designs and manufactures affordable made-in-Nigeria IoT-enabled solar water pump inverter for irrigation farming systems. The Spunvertek solar water pump inverter powers all types of conventional water pumps directly from solar panels without the need for battery storage. Our innovative product ensures that farmers in off-grid areas with no access to electricity can power large capacity water pumps used in irrigation farming at an affordable cost. Spunvertek has a unique team of electronic circuit designers and microprocessor programmers that ensures that durability and standard is met. Being a homegrown technology company gives us an edge over foreign competitors based on our understanding of the needs of the local farmers in Nigeria. Spunvertek Inverter also powers any type of submersible water pumps used in community borehole projects in off-grid areas of Nigeria. We offer real-time and cloud-based remote monitoring and control for automated smart irrigation farming approach for large-scale farms via our robust IoT-embedded solar water pumping system, which ensures progressive crop yield and good land nutrition. In Nigeria, thousands of children and infants in rural areas die annually as a result of waterborne diseases due to non-access to portable and clean water supply. This high rate of death is as a result of lack of electricity supply for water supply and the expensive nature of procuring regular solar water pumps. Spunvertek innovative technology has simplified off-grid solar water pumping system by way of integration of existing conventional water pumps to our solar water pump inverter, which makes the procurement and installation of solar water pumping system readily affordable. Thinking of solar water pumping for irrigation? Think Spunvertek.
All right, everybody. Good morning or rather good afternoon. It's a beautiful sunny and cloudy day here in Abuja. And my name is Bankole Lawrence, and welcome to the second season and the second edition of Green Innovation Talks with Mr. Bank. And Green Innovation Talk with Mr. Bank, as we said right from the beginning, is to
Please, can you be audible?
to highlight highlight yes, so it's to highlight some of the innovations that we can find within the within the renewable the green economy that is emerging in Nigeria. So some of these ideas and innovations that you will find are still at the basic functional stage, and they are on a journey to perfection. But the impact is already happening. The market is already opening up. Some of the opportunities that needed to be done, creating jobs and creating, financially responsible businesses have already started emerging within the green economy. Today, our focus is going to be on food security, and not only on food security, but in the processes of creating and impacting food security. And we're leveraging on solar and solar irrigation to see how we can help to improve opportunity around, improving food security. Our guest today is Matthias Ameh. Matthias Ameh is the founder and CEO of Spunvertek Enterprise, who makes solar water pumps Inverter. in Nigeria. Now, Matthias was part of our first incubation program that happened in 2019, and he has gone ahead to also keep providing for the market with quite a long list, with quite an itinerary of customers in both rural and urban areas. Just before I let Matthias come to explain a little bit about what Spunvertek does and what he has been up to in the past 2 years, food security, as you all know, is a big challenge, within the climate change sphere of issues. And food security, if not tackled, with as much innovation as possible, might end up leading to a huge crisis in Nigeria. With the recent hike in prices of fuel, electricity, that food will be next on the kind of prices that need to be that need to be tampered with, if you permit me say that. But in order to be able to find a solution around this challenge, we keep finding quite a number of businesses within the climate solution aspect that are providing indigenous and functional solutions. Innovation, as we all know, must not be similar with any other, country, location, culture, and people. But innovation in our context here is very functional and is already serving the market. So, Matthias, welcome. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Banks. I'm okay.
How's it going? It's been a while.
Fine, we thank God.
All right. So let's jump into today's conversation. The focus of our conversation is how your innovation has been trying to improve food security in Nigeria in the past 2 years, or maybe you can correct me as that goes on. But before we jump into that, tell us a little bit about yourself and what Spunvertek has been up to.
Okay, my name is Matthias Ameh, and I am the founder and CEO of Spunvertek Enterprise. Actually, we are no longer enterprise; we are limited right now. So, so that's we are trying to scale up. So Spunvertek basically is a renewable energy technology developer, whereby we design and manufacture affordable and made in Nigeria solar water pump inverter, specifically for farming purpose, that is in terms of irrigation. So when you talk of farming and irrigation, it has to go a long way, because in Nigeria, basically, we have food shortage and let me say food poverty rampaging the whole area of Nigeria. So, and irrigation is not all about you maybe pumping water to irrigate your land. You have to talk about water management system as well. That's why we have our inverter that is smart. So with that smart nature of our inverter, we're able to work on the water management aspect as well. So the main aspect of the main purpose of our innovation is just to eradicate food shortage and provide access to potable water supply to rural farmers in off-grid areas, and at the same time making it affordable for them, because you are talking of renewable energy and you're talking of maybe storage capacity, maybe using storage battery and the rest, it makes everything so expensive. So with that in mind, we're able to design our inverter to operate without battery. That's a batteryless inverter. So that's one aspect of it. Now in Nigeria here, we only have farmers that farm during the rainy season, and in the northern part of Nigeria alone, there are about 1 million farmers. 1 million hectares of farmland that is not irrigated, and this 1 million hectares is only being make use of during the rainy season. So we now say no, this cannot be, because now many farmers in these rural areas, they actually don't have access to maybe power supply and to even procure solar water pumping system. And if you look around in Nigeria, many of the renewable energy systems that has to do with solar water pumping doesn't always favor farmers doing irrigation, because what you get mostly is maybe solar water pumps that can only be used for submersible pumps, But our innovation was able to cater that challenge, whereby our inverter, you can use a conventional surface water pump, which is used in irrigating land. That's one aspect of it. Now, let me give you an instance. For instance, if you want to irrigate a 1 hectare farmland, you need nothing less than 306,000 liters of water to get just 1 hectare of farmland.
For 1 hectare?
Yes, for 1 hectare. For 1 hectare.
Wow.
Now, if you calculate that based on farmers that use petrol engine to irrigate their farmland, that means they are spending an approximate of 130 liters of petrol for 3 days, because that 1 hectare alone, you cannot irrigate it in 1 day. It has to take like 3 days because of the large nature of it. Now, look at the hike in price of petrol right now. If you are multiplying a farmer that has 1 hectare and needs to irrigate his farmland completely, that's complete irrigation of his farmland, and he's spending 130 liters of petrol. If you multiply it by the current price, you discover that you are way beyond 20,000 naira match.
Yeah.
So now, if he has to do that for 3 days, and you calculate it by 1 month, that's let's say 10 days, that's over 200,000 naira just to irrigate 1 hectare of farmland. And if the crop is a crop that takes 3 months, yes, just for 1 hectare. If the crop is a crop that takes like 3 months for it to be ready for cultivation, for harvest, that means the farmer will be spending up to 700,000, because you are not even talking about the maintenance cost and so many other aspects that has to go with water pumping using petrol engine. So, but with our inverter, we are able to like solve all these issues based on the fact that once procured, you don't have to do any other maintenance on it because it's maintenance free.
Okay.
And another aspect is being smart. It helps it, because now we are talking about an inverter that you don't need to maybe buy fuel or anything. Just set it up and it keeps running. Now, if the inverter is not smart enough, you discover that there will be water shortage and drought will occur based on over irrigation. So, but our inverter was able to solve all this challenge by way of we have what we call some sensor that is being installed, like the soil moisture sensor that senses when the farmland is irrigated already, so it trips off everything. So the farmer basically doesn't need to start maybe tripping it off or worrying about over irrigation. So that's another aspect.
Okay.
And for the 1 million hectares, 1 million hectares that I said before initially, if being irrigated and there's an oil farming procedure, like dry season farming, for instance, farmers can actually make up to $600 million US. That's like the market projection for just 4% of
the 1 million of the 1 million hectare, just 4% of the 1 million hectare.
Just 4% of the 1 million hectares. So with that in mind, you discover that it is not only adding values to farmers, but it's doing so many things to the economy. So that's another aspect of it. Thank you. Your mic is mute.
All right, we had to do a little bit of crisis management right there. So great. So look, I've been taking quite a number of notes, right? And the notes are kind of long. And I mean, you've spoken about water shortage, food and water, shortage, right? Access to water is equally a problem. If access to water is a problem, and also how much it's going to cost all these farmers, can you help me explain what the challenges are when it comes to adoption of this into the market? unmute yourself, please. Yeah.
Okay, please come again. The network was
Always
unstable.
Yeah, I said with all this different
The network was unstable.
positivity about all the positivity about your product and what you've been able to design so far. What has been your challenge, right, in trying to get as much adoption as possible? How much of mainstream farmers community have you gone into?
Okay. One of the challenge that we normally have is the use of our product, because being a new product and an innovated one, and as well a product that is originating from Nigeria, as in it's an indigenous product, many people have doubts over it. Product into their farms and their existing business. But the only challenge we have is the challenges of maybe terrain and some other things, because you have some people that will come up to you and tell you that, oh, I don't only want to irrigate my land, I need power supply as well. Can you do that? So we've been able to.
We have lost Matthias there for just a bit. He'll be back. I mean, these numbers are quite astounding, right? So just to manage a million with the available million hectares of farmable land in Nigeria, I mean, dealing with just one hectare is going to cost you about 360 liters of water. So that's over 360 million liters of water. Matthias, if you're back, please, you can join up the the conversation. It's okay. You can put your videos off, and let's continue this this conversation from where you stop. But with this kind of numbers that we have seen, I mean, it shows you some of the kind of viability that has to come from that side of water management in farm practices. With some of the different policies and market opening opportunities that we've seen across this country in trying to improve farmers' yield, farmers' access to finance, farmers' access to market. For some reason, we are in one way or the other neglecting that that process of having to facilitate and reduce the overhead cost of farmers. So if we keep doling out as much money to farmers, right, without looking at what are the basic challenges that are going to improve this farmers' opportunity to produce more, then we are sort of opening up a huge well and dumping more money into it. But we are not in the business of having to call anyone out on how much money they have spent so far. We only want to know what are the different innovations that are solving some of the challenges that we have around here. So while we're waiting again still for Matthias, I still want to reel out a few numbers or some of the few benefits of the solar water irrigation system. It's got a soil motion sensor. Now that's fascinating. For soil motion sensor, we know that the issue that has to do with management of new technologies in most remote areas, even in everyday household, has to do with efficiency. And with this soil motion sensor that has been attached to this product, we can see that it has cut some of that whole extra manpower that needs to go, the level of resources that needs to go into managing this irrigation system. With a simple switch going off and going on, and understanding whether the soil is ready, is fully irrigated. I think it also helps to drive this narrative that we've currently started building around energy efficiency. All right. I don't know if he's back. No, he's not back yet. So based on energy efficiency, and energy efficiency, we know is a very critical thing, with many of our production or processing companies. With the new hike in electricity currently, you can see that energy efficiency plays a major role, which one of the components of Spunvertek's product has shown how we can really be efficient when it comes to the consumption and then the use of energy for irrigation. Matthias, you're back. So so help us continue. You're still on mute. Help us understand a little bit more around that adoption, adoption purposes. Help us understand your model when it comes to engaging each of these farming communities.
Okay, sorry about the breaking transmission. So what I was saying is, now most of these farmers, you don't expect them to have the initial capital to purchase our product. In as much as our product is affordable, there are some farmers that cannot still afford it. So we have a kind of marketing procedure that we do. We don't normally engage the farmers directly. We engage via farmers cooperative and NGOs, as the case may be. So what they do is they, based on the fact that they have communities there, farmers communities, they have a kind of payment procedure that the farmers go through. So of which we don't have jurisdiction over that. So what we do is we sell our products to them. They know how to distribute it to the farmers, and that is all. So, but we are looking at subscription models whereby, for instance, in Charaba State, of which we are about encroaching, they have large farmers that has farmlands, large farmlands around, close to the riverbank, but these farmlands are only being cultivated during the rainy season, in as much as the farmland is close to the riverbank. So we are trying to, as in, go into a kind of subscription model whereby we have a kind of do I say base station for our solar water pump inverter that will now be reticulated to each of the farmlands, and they will have to pay based on the water usage there. So those are one of the challenges that we are trying to cope with for now.
So help me understand this, right? So if you have access, right, to some form of possibility in scaling up this business, or rather this innovation that you have to connect with, with the market, which you already started connecting with the market, right? What would you say will be that little gap that needs to be improved? Is it that credit facility for the customer, or is it funds to to reduce the cost of your product?
Okay, we already have a projected we already have a projected outcome of how our product is going to be in the next 2 to 3 years, but everything still still revolve around funding, because we are not, being an indigenous company, we are not after making as in all the money. We want to as we have an impact on our environment and the social economy. So the major thing is if we have the right funding, with the right funding, because right now we are bootstrapping based on the income and every other thing that we get from the sales of our inverters. We've not actually have a kind of funding that will make us to be able to maybe reduce the cost price of procurement price of our solar water pump inverters, so that we'll reach across many localities in Nigeria. So the thing there is, for now, we are still looking at that, but the truth about our product is that instead of the price increasing every day, we keep modifying the price down so that everybody will be able to have access to it. That's what we've been doing.
Yeah. So how many, do you have an idea of how many customers you have dealt with so far?
Yes, before the COVID-19 crisis or thereabouts, we were able to have about 162 active users of our products, and of which almost 80% of that we are almost 80% of that we are through farmers cooperatives. Like one of our major clients is the International Funding for Agricultural Development, of which our products has been deployed to 6 states of Nigeria where they are operating right now. And most of these are using irrigation farms, basically for rice farming, whereby our system is set up there. So, but for individuals, we have some individuals in states like Oyo State, of which in Oyo State right now, I think in one of their local governments, I've forgotten the local government, we have like 6 of our products, because apart from it being used for irrigation farming, it's also used for community water supply because of the affordable nature of it and the integrative nature of it as well. That's one aspect of it. So, but the COVID-19 actually affected our business, but then we are trying to pick up. And picking up means that we have some innovation that we've added to our product to even make it more sustainable and okay for the end user.
Now that you mentioned some of the other alternative uses of your product, right? Some of these other alternative uses, can you help us understand, apart from the household use of this, what are the other uses?
Okay, now if you look at the renewable energy, if you look at the renewable energy ecosystem of Nigeria, let me use that word for instance. Many people shy away from it based on the expensive nature of it. And renewable is not expensive. It's just the kind of governance approach around it that makes it expensive. Because if you are talking of setting up maybe a solar powered system in your house, you talk of backup batteries, which are not cheap. Let me use that word for the average Nigerian to buy. And now, Inverter being having a kind of batteryless operation, we discovered that even in farms, people still need to maybe charge their phones and during the daytime for communication purpose. So for that, we have been able to have a kind of innovation on it, whereby we have some USB ports that, apart from you pumping water, maybe after pumping your water, and you feel that you don't, the inverter cannot not just be off like that, and you are seeing free sunlight, you can as well use it to just plug in 1 or 2 devices. So for now, let me use a layman language. An inverter can as well be powered, power maybe a small home as in theater system, and let's say a 2-inch television system directly for solar panels. But have this in mind that you can only use it during the daytime. That's one aspect of we are looking at. And with that, we went ahead to say, okay, there are some business that operates during the daytime that doesn't really need backup power. So we've introduced a kind of batteryless operation in our inverter, whereby even if you want to use it for household, you can as well plug in 1 or 2 electronics equipment on it. And under innovate, because Spunvertek is a company, we have other products under Spunvertek which are still in the pipeline, of which we are working, and believe me, it's going to be all batteryless and efficient.
If they are all batteryless and efficient, right? How useful is this, right? Just help us understand just a little bit more, right? Back to the farming, to the farming guys. So if we have quite a number of farmers already playing in this space, right? What does it take for you to be able to, onboard several other farmers? What level of partnerships do you need, to make this work? Because again, you all know that we all know that there's no man is an island. There's no business that grows, solely on its own, right? We need those kind of partnerships. So what are those kind of partnerships that you think are very strategic that can help you scale from 160 or 180 farmers to about 1,000 to 5,000 and 10,000 farmers across the country?
Okay. When we started as a company, we are looking at other source of trying to like create awareness about our products, because we we are looking at like if you look across Nigeria, there are so many abandoned solar ball projects across Nigeria, and most of the solar ball projects are done, and within 1 year they've been vandalized. Now, the reason why vandalism is taking place around solar water ball projects is because of the expensive nature of it. Because the normative, we have that kind of as in I have that notion that if I go ahead and steal this pump, I'm going to sell it and make money. But believe me, our innovation is in such a way that by the time you go ahead and steal any of the products, it's worthless to you and you might be caught. Because now Iwata does not work with any other pump. It works with conventional water pumps that are very cheap. So if you go and steal something that is being sold for 20,000 naira and you are being caught, it's becoming another thing. So based on partnership, we try partnering with Ministry of Water, Federal Ministry of Water Resources, of which in Nigeria they have this who knows who. So they start based on the fact that it's a government stuff. After so many months of frustration, we just forgot about it and focus on we doing our thing ourselves. But the partnership that we really want is a kind of awareness and maybe some kind of funding, because right now the stage at which we are, there are so many federal government loans flying around, of which though we applied, but we are not basing our growth on loan, because from where we are coming from and where we are heading to, we already have we already have a projected outcome of how the company is going to be. Because we are talking of partnership. Some people just want to partner with you, just maybe they want to have more insights of what you are doing, but at the end of everything, they will leave you behind. So we are not focusing on that. We are channeling all our energy on how to grow up as a company. But right now we are as well we are welcoming partners if the partner will be able to like meet to our needs and every other thing, because actually we need to grow. Nigeria has a vast farmland, and there are so many people that need water supply. Apart from community and individuals, there are so many things that actually need water supply to work. So and Inverter has so many aspects that we can apply them to.
So help us understand what. So I've been listening to all what you've been saying, right, around how your product has its distinctive nature, around protection against theft, and how partnering with more institutions can open up your market. Have you considered the kind of relationship you can have with development organizations who are a bit more focused on this farming community, like the outgrower scheme? How has your experiences been around that area?
Please come again.
I said, how has your experiences been working with development sector, right? If the government, the public sector is posing to, again, we all know how the public sector behave. I think it's always like this, almost everywhere across the world. But again, there are other, customer segments that you're also looking at. For instance, there are quite a number of organizations, development organizations, who are working with lots of farmers to improve, food security. What has your experiences been working with some of these organizations?
Okay. Most of these organizations, just like I mentioned before, more than 80% of the products we sold so far were sold to IFAD. IFAD, being an European organization, they have a partnership with state governments own agricultural sectors, whereby they have a kind of incentive program for farmers. The fact that we are looking at partnership, we are not. It was just just few months ago that we said, okay, let's just channel on the agricultural sector, but we have so many NGOs that have approached us and said, okay, they are into wash sector, that they really want to rehabilitate abandoned borehole projects and the rest. But we, as Spunvertek, we don't always believe in word of mouth. We believe in action. It's not about maybe reaching out to us and telling us that, okay, we have like 6 states or 5 states that our NGO are based and we want to really create impact in the wash sector. No, we need action. Just come out and say what you want, because most of them, like apart from Nigeria, there are so many NGOs that have approached me online that they say they are NGOs in diaspora also, that they want to do things for their community. But then by the time you tell them, and another thing is Nigeria has a kind of belief that there's some innovation or technology that cannot do well in Nigeria, of which is very wrong. Because now I'm a physicist and I happens to have some certification in electronic circuit design and simulation. You understand? There are so many Chinese companies that has approached me based on a recent innovation I did on Spunvertek, that they actually want to buy my products. You understand? Chinese are thieves. Let me put it that way.
So, no, let's not get too personal. That sounds like a racial attack, and I'm going to ask you that you should please take back your word on that, please. Thank you so much.
Sorry about that.
Please take back your word. Yeah.
The issue is I have several opportunities to maybe market my product or upscale my product in maybe several other countries, of which I said, okay, no, let me just start from the grassroots and see how it goes. It goes from there. That's just it. So for my with my experience working with farmers and the other, they are very with farmers and NGOs, it's very encouraging, because all they want to see is that they have value for their money. It's not about spending too much on trying to have a water supply for your farmland or for your household, and at the end of everything, you're not getting what you really want. That's just the thing. Mind you, apart from farming and household, people that have swimming pools and even hotels and people that sell water, because we're even looking at that aspect. There are some rural communities that you go that they actually sell water. You can imagine that, of which with our inverter, we can just have a kind of subscription method whereby water that is being sold maybe 20 liter for 15 naira, can even sell it for 5 naira. You understand? Just to keep everything going, to encourage people. That's just because water is everywhere, but it's how to bring it out that is the issue.
Right. All right, Matthias, I know you're a very passionate human being, and I know that you love your product so much, but we try to keep it a little bit, we try to keep it a little bit, sane around here, but it's okay. It's okay. Right? It's all right. But anyway, let's move forward. So I've got a few questions here, right? So I've got a question first from Habiba Ali. I think this should be the founder of Sose Energy, if I'm correct. Habiba Ali is asking you, right, that how does she get information on your product? Because again, her organization works with communities, right? And one of the things they promote is solar irrigation. If this is from Sose Energy, I think that there's a possible partnership between the both of you here. So now help us explain, to Habiba, right, that how do we get your information of your products, right? Where do they find you, and how does partnership work between the both of you? It is Sose actually.
Okay, we have a website which is not an e-commerce website. It's just a website that tells more about our products, because we don't have a platform where we sell our product on the website for now. And we are based in Abuja. We have an office. We have a mini factory based on what our money can carry. So we have a mini factory where we do our production, and then for the sales approach, there are some stores that has our product already. Like in Alaba market, we have 2 or 3 stores that we already gave our product out for marketing as well. So if,
what about in the northern part of the country?
Yeah, in the northern part of the country, right now we only have our products in Kano and Kaduna, because we are doing a fish pond project with an organization in Kano State, of which they have about it's a very large fish pond. It's a kind of organization like that focus on youth empowerment. So we are able to set up our solar water pumping system there basically for their fish pond there. Then in Niger State, we have 2 farmlands using our products. And we also have some about 5 or 6 communities as well that are using our products. Then coming to the middle belt in Kogi State, we already have a kind of sales outlet in Kogi State where our product is being sold. But if you need our product now, you can either get it directly from the factory, or because we don't actually have any marketing organization for our products for now.
So because of time, right? Quickly give us your email. If you want to share your phone number, please do share your phone number, email, and website quickly, so that Habiba can get
our website is www.spunvertek.com.ng. Spunvertek.com.ng is our website. All our handle is @Spunvertek. Then our email is, you can reach us at info@spunvertek.com.ng or admin@spunvertek.com.ng or spunvertek@gmail.com.
Okay.
Then our phone number, our official phone number is 070 56 54 76 22. I come again, 070 56 54 76 22. So Spunvertek, we are made up of some teams of engineers, and we have just a staff base of less than 10 for now.
Okay. All right. So so now that we're about to leave, right? Okay, I think someone else lost you around the numbers. So again, can you just so the number Matthias gave early was 070-5654 7622. Right, great. So we have shared it with you with all attendees. You can see all the information there in the chat box. So Matthias, tell me, what does the future look like for you?
Well, what we are looking at, what the future is looking at right now is every angle is focusing on renewable energy, and we've been pioneer in the aspect of renewable energy, as in focusing on agricultural sector. There's serious market for it. There is serious market for agriculture in Nigeria, and it can only be achieved via irrigation farming, because we've looked around. If you look around you, there are so many there are few places that irrigation farming using renewable energy is being carried out, and we want to close that gap. That's exactly so. In the next 2 to 3 years from now, everywhere in Nigeria, every farmers in Nigeria will not only want to go to farm during rainy season, but they always want to go to farm throughout the year. So that's our focus for now.
All right, great. So there's a suggestion from Konyegwachi Chukuma. I mean, Konyegwachi said, well, while he or she was listening to you, a strategy came to mind. And then so what you're proposing is that, can the partnership be drawn out between you and a farmer that entitles your company to a percentage of their sales for a certain period for using their product? Do you think that is feasible? Do you think it's a model that can work for you?
That please come again. I'm trying to get
I
the
mean,
message.
like, is it, if you check the Q&A session, so the information says that can a partnership be done between you and a farmer that entitles your company to a percentage of their agro sales after harvest for using your product?
Yes, we have a farmland in Kogi State precisely that that has a vast rice farm there, and the only thing is they only cultivate their rice farm during the dry raining season. So we are looking at trying to set up our products there at no cost, whereby we now have a partnership with them that, okay, at the end of the planting season and during harvest, this percentage goes to us because we are providing water supply to you at no cost. So we are working at that, and we can as well expand this to other farmers as well in the nearest future.
All right, so that means that this is a model. So this leads to barter or leads to own. You know, it's a model also that you can, or that means you can lease your product to farmers on a subscription basis,
Yes.
right? Instead of, you know, them buying
Yes.
outrightly, right? You will handle all installation, you know, and everything else, and then they can, you know, they will part with payment after harvest. I mean, this is a model that they're also willing to explore, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, great. Do you have any final words, because we're about, you know, getting to the you know, last beat of last 10 minutes of this conversation? What are your thoughts generally?
Well, my final word goes this way. In Nigeria, there are so many startups that didn't see the light of day, based on the fact that they are waiting for maybe external funding or free money. Well, there's actually free money everywhere, but then it depends on what you want. Because sometimes if you are running after free money, you end up forgetting about what you're actually looking for. Because as you are running after free money, traveling here and there looking for free money, you end up concentrating on building your brand and building your product, of which that is what I've done. If you as Spunvertek, I don't think I've gone to more than 5 or 6 competitions, of which I stopped them because I stopped going to such competition because it's not yielding me any profit. You understand? I just focus on building my product and brand, and with that, every other thing will follow. So that is it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matthias. To everyone listening out there and you're starting a business, Matthias has said it over and over again. Waiting for, you know, free money, grant, finance, and all that stuff sometimes takes a longer time and distracts you from all the businesses, you know, that you might have. And we all know, and I agree with you, you know, Matthias, that there are a lot of pitchpreneurs out there. By pitchpreneurs, I mean I came from, you know, in my former life in the tech startup community, there are quite a number of people who just go around pitching. You know, they just keep winning $5K here, $10K here, you know, $5,000 here, but they never concentrate on building that product. And we know that if there's something we share at NCIC plenty times, is that pay attention to your product, pay attention to your market. Don't be a pitchpreneur, because look, you might get lost in the, you know, in that flurry of activities, you know, looking of just pitching everywhere. So I want to thank you, Matthias, for the time that you have shared. I'm sure that for those who watched from any part, either on our Facebook streaming, you know, streaming channel, or on our YouTube, we are still going to share this link for everyone else. And if you still need more of you know, details on how to get connected to Matthias, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at NCIC. You can do that on info@nigeriacic.org. That's .org. Or you can check all of our social media platforms. They are all called Nigeria CIC. So I want to thank you, Matthias, again for your time. And we are always reaching out for you. And if there are ways that you think the NCIC can join you to discuss with all your partners, you know, to help you structure out your partnership deals, you and your partnership connection, you'll know that you have a home in NCIC. Like we've told you earlier, and all the other ones who have come around, you know, after you, that the NCIC is also here to serve as that support structure, as that handhold. If you need us to go with you, myself or, you know, our head of business development, Adamu, we can send someone, you know, to come with you for any of your meetings, you know, to also help those that you're dealing with to understand how your product is from that business and, you know, that partnership perspective. If you need us to also join whenever you get any of these emails, you know, requesting for, you know, partnership, you can copy us in it, and then we can manage that partnership details for you. We are always reaching out for you. We love your product. We think it is a game changer, and we think that there are lots of other innovations that you're building on that product that you will not share, because again, you understand that innovation part of your business. Thank you very much, Matthias. Please keep winning, keep making up new market, and keep connecting with with as much potential partners as possible. To everyone out there, we want to thank you for your time. It's been about an hour of very good conversation with Matthias Ameh, who is the founder and CEO of Spunvertek Limited. Matthias was part of our incubation program. He has gone ahead, to acquire more customers across the country, and we think that this is a game-changing business, that is worth your time and your energy in terms of investment. And we want to keep inviting you to come for the Green Innovation Talks with me. And next week we'll come with something around the circular economy, and I'm sure that you will all enjoy it. Thank you very much, and please stay safe, stay out of trouble, and be good to the community. Ciao. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Take care, Matthias. Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
We will see you next week, the same time on Thursday.